Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how I put in my dread extensions. First off, this is like 100% real human virgin hair. I wouldn't recommend doing anything else. Like I said in my other video, like you can't dye it, you can't do anything with it other than like have it. My girls are watching nursery rhymes. They're a little loud. But yeah, I have my daughters with me in here today, so if you hear any random noises, it's probably just them. But first off, what I like to say is like some people only leave like a little bit of hair at the top to dread into your dread. This is the dread we're going to be extending. And I've noticed that if you have a little bit more, like this is probably 3 to 4 inches, and the further up you can put it in your dread, the stronger it'll be, like the longer it stays, and it's less likely to like come out. I actually took this one out on purpose just so I could show y'all how I put them in. Also, I have a crochet hook. I actually have 2, because this is just the way I like to do it. Again, it's not like what you have to do. First, I have this 0.30 millimeter one, and I don't think my camera is going to zoom in, like focus on it. It's not, but it's a little bit bigger of a hook, you can kind of see. And then I have this one, and it's like 10, it's like written like a fraction, and then it's 1.30 millimeters, and it's like super tiny. I actually got it in a crochet hook set because I crochet. But what I like to do is I like to go over it first with this big one to like put the hair through, and then this one I kind of like tweak it, make it stronger, and like get all the little pieces of hair that are sticking out. But yeah, so first what you want to do is, like with your dread, is you want to pull it down as far as you can so you have like a blunt end, and then on your dread, it'll be a little bit easier for y'all if they're kind of new. You just kind of want to undread the bottom just a little. You don't have to have as much hair as your dread extension, but right there is the end of my dread, so I have that much. And then a lot of people like to split them in half and put them like this. I don't do that. I find it's kind of hard, especially if you're doing your whole head by yourself like I did. So this is just the way that I found was easiest for me to do it. So what I like to do is I like to find where that very end is, and the very end of my dread, and then line those up, and then hold right above it. And you're going to take your crochet hook, and you're going to stick it right through the middle of your dread, grab a few of those loose hairs, and pull them through. And just keep doing that over and over and over. And I will show y'all what I do after that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all this loose hair pulled through, and that's whenever I take my little one and I turn my dread, and I'll show y'all a better one on the bottom whenever I can actually like let go of it. And then I just go in like kind of quick and pick up all those loose hairs and just tuck them into the middle of my dread, and just keep doing that because you want them in there really tight, really secure. You don't really want them to come out easy, especially if you, like me, I like to style my dreads different ways. So if you're like that, like I am, you don't want them to come out easy, or every time you go to put your hair up or try to braid it or anything, it will, it'll just fall out. And I am going to tell y'all before that after 1 or 2 of these, or if you're like me and you do them like super tight and you keep going over it and over and over it, it'll make your hands hurt pretty bad. But I think it's worth it in the end. So we're just gonna, sorry it's taking a while guys, I just really want to make sure it's in there. Like I said, I always go a little above and beyond trying to get them in there as best I can. And like I said, the bottom half I will show y'all a little bit better. Okay, so that's okay for now. Okay, and then whenever you're done with this part, go ahead and make sure that your dread ends still match up. You don't want to have like a gap between them because it'll cause a hole in your dread, especially if they start to actually dread together where they won't come out at all. It'll have like this little gap, and that can cause loops in your dread too. And if that's what you like do you like, I've seen so many girls, like girls especially, that have the loopy dreads, and it actually is like kind of cute. Like they can pull it off, just I can't. But all I'm doing is I'll show you on this part is I'm taking this loose hair and I put it right up against my thumb, and I put my thumb right below the dread, and then I hold it like that, okay? And then I take my crochet hook and I stick it right in the middle of my dread all the way through, and I grab some of those hairs and pull them through. You see? I think you can, hopefully. And just keep pulling it through, see? And you just keep doing that. Like I said, this is my bigger crochet hook. And you just keep doing that until all of your hair is at least through the dread. And so keep working it. Like I said, this is a very time-consuming process. So yeah. You just really have to take your time with it. Just really make sure you get it in there. So now I have all of these fluffies on the other side. Okay. And then what you do is you turn your dread to where those are on this side. And you, again, take your thumb, put it behind the hair and your dread. Uh-oh. Little one's crying. Hold on, I'll be right back. Again, the random noise in the background is my daughter's toys. But turn it around to where your thumb's behind the fuzzy parts of your hair that you want to pull into your dread, and you're holding your actual dread. So you stick your crochet hook through and you pick up them hair, and this time instead of pulling them all the way through, which you can, a lot of people keep pulling it through both ways until there's no more hair left, and that is a really good idea, I think. But this is how all of mine are put in, so I don't want to really do anything different, because like I said, this seems to be working for my texture of hair, but you might find your own. Like I said, this is just how I do mine. And I'm going to have to look away from the camera for a second. And just keep working it. And it does take some time. Keep in mind these hooks are super small, so they only grab a few pieces of hair each time they go through. So you just want to keep going, keep going. But like I said, I think it is totally worth it in the end. And sometimes where my dread and my dread extension meet, I like to go down and pull up and kind of, you know, make sure it's really on the inside of my dread, and just keep working it. This video is going to be a little bit long, but I want y'all to be able to see what I'm doing exactly to the best of my abilities anyway. And just keep working it, see? And it's already not going nowhere. And I'm just going to go over it one more time, I think, just to make sure it's really in there. Be sure to like spin your dread around. I didn't say that. As you're doing it, every so often, just spin it a different way and pull that hair to the opposite side. It helps with blending, especially if your dread extensions are not the exact same color as your hair. It helps it with like an not auburn, darn, I just completely forgot what that's called, but like it fades into the dread extension really well. That does not go in my dread, that's just little baby hair. But like I said, just a few more times, and be like kind of picky about the top, especially because it's going like against the grain of your dread. If it sticks out, it's kind of noticeable. So try to really try hard not to let that. The bottom's really not so bad, just because you can palm roll it and then fix it when you get home, and it's not really so noticeable because it goes with the grain of your dread. My daughter's crying again. think I'm gonna have to quit one more time just to fix her really quick. Hold on, guys. Okay, so I am back. So then with the bottom, I like to be picky with both. I like for it to not have to be fixed. Little maintenance as possible. That's another thing for the first with my hair. I didn't really wait. You're supposed to wait at least 3 months to put them in, so your dreads are actually strong enough to hold them, and they're starting the dreading process like really good to hold these in, so they kind of dread together. I did not wait that with some of my dreads. So you will, if you're anything like me, if you're not waiting, you will have to go back maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks at least. What I did was every time I got out of the shower, I've done it a lot. Every time I got out of the shower and my hair dried, I would go over each one, make sure there was no loose hair sticking out, or if they needed to be tightened up a little bit, I would tighten them up. But you want to be able to like do this and see how there's still little fuzzies, and that's okay, but you don't want anything major. And then palm roll, and there you go. Ain't going nowhere. But like I said, you're gonna have to probably do a little bit of maintenance on them every so often, just to keep them in there and keep them looking good. And sometimes, like occasionally in the beginning, especially with my dread extensions, they would come out, a few of them. I think I've had 5 of them come out that I had to refix, which really isn't a big deal. Like I said, most of them were like the first few I did, the very first ones I've ever done, so they were a little bit sloppy, I guess. So I didn't mind going back over those to make them tighter as the ones at the end, because like I said, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. I was not fast with it at all. Like, that was pretty quick for me. Took about 10 minutes to do that one. It used to be like 30. I'm trying to get it on there, and like I said, my hands are hurting now. But you just have to keep your patience with them if you really want them. That's what really dreads are all about, is patience. You have to give them time to kind of do their thing. And I've had mine for almost 5 months now. I said 4 in my last video, and I've done the math, and it's almost 5, but not quite. And they're starting to look good. Me and my husband think. He complimented me on them the other day. So yeah, guys, that is how I put in my dread extensions. And like I said, tomorrow I will probably do the video on how to separate your dreads, like if they start to try to do Congo dreads. I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.